Hello and welcome to our Planet Coaster Harder Challenge Mode series. And, this episode's a little bit different than what we have been doing. In terms of format, it's going to be the same. But what you're seeing right now, happened a few episodes ago, and I did not show you this footage because I didn't want to give away too much. But if you're new to the series, I just saw some rules pop up on the side, and those are rules that we are using to make it a little bit more challenging for ourselves. Again, what we're doing here is just addressing some of the area behind the Steel Eagle. It's not going to be too much, but it's just kind of mapping out how the rest of the park is going to look over here. And then, this is probably going to be the next major area that we're going to focus on. So we've pretty much completed the Matford Airfield, it's time to start preparing to go expand into another newer area, and we're gonna do that by really swinging the camera around and making a pretty sizable hill or mountain that's going to have a pretty large cave in the side of it, I have some different ideas for this area. You can see we put a hyper jump in here, now it's just a matter of making sure we can get the path down here to make it look reasonable and not be too steep of a grade. So, again, this isn't going to be open anytime soon. We still have a lot until we really start to get in, but I thought with where the park is progressing, you're probably going to see some of this in the background at this point. So I wanted to make sure that we get this in here so you know what you're looking at. And again, this really starts to take shape. There's some really interesting features that we're going to be implementing here as we go through. But first things first is getting the path to work, and that is always a challenge with Planet Coaster. So you can see we're starting to get it to go a little bit, which is perfect. There's not going to be too much down here, so I did want to make sure that whatever we did have down here is going to look reasonable once we start filling it in with some of the scenery and whatnot. So, of course, we're going to need to have a priority pass queue, so we plan for that as well. And then eventually we do get everything to kind of fit in here, and we start making this into a cave. Of course, there's a little underground river that's going to be there as well. Here we go. We got the terrain coming in around here. We want the hyper jump to be pretty much fully enclosed except for the top, but I did want to have a window that looks in at it from the outside. So, and that will have some really cool interaction with some of the rides that we are going to add to this area. So, this is it actually works out a lot better than I thought it was going to. You can see we're really having to carve in to this cave here and then kind of bring it back out to get it to be exactly what we're looking for. And of course, this is still going to change quite a bit as well. So you can see just adding in like little pieces. We want this to connect, so there's going to be some it's going to be believable to some extent here. So now that we've got that done, we are back here at the bridge area, and that is the main focus for this episode. I just wanted this to be something simple, but something that's going to be clean for a park like this. So you can see we use these castle pieces, I think it turns out pretty nice. I didn't like the castle brick as the walking path, so we do eventually cover that up. But I wanted to have some type of footer here, and I wanted to make sure that it was just going to be outside above the water. That way we can put some lights on there to show off for the just to emphasize the bridge a little bit. So we do get that, and also I just realized that I did forget to show the nighttime view for the bridge. So there is that, but generally speaking, I think it looks all pretty nice here, and of course we'll take a look at the nighttime in a future episode as well. Now, the one thing that I didn't like is, we didn't really have pillars with that castle brick, but I did find that there is a chimney or something, I don't even know what it's called, I don't remember, that does have that. So we get that in there, and that kind of solves one of the issues that I was trying to find for some type of pillar. So just kind of keeping with the set. Of course, I wanted to make sure that the entire pathway was covered, so it did look like it was a full bridge. Of course, we're going to remove the supports for the pathway as well. So we go ahead and get those adjusted. This bridge ended up being much simpler than what I thought it was going to be, and you can see now we're adding in some of the lights, and we're just gonna duplicate this section because it's just gonna work a whole lot easier. So we go ahead, we get those in. Once we get everything sorted out exactly how we want, we make sure that we extend that to the side there, just to fully cover it, and then we duplicate it, bring it over, and of course now this one we wanted to it was going to be a little offset because of the way the terrain was moving, so we go ahead and do that. And then now the one side I wanted to have, actually on both sides I wanted to have a little seating area with paths and whatnot, but that didn't seem to work out the way I was hoping it would. It did work on the one side, but I wanted it to not have the same texture as the rest of the bridge. So we do use the wooden pieces, so that would kind of just be in there. Now it's modern wood, so that kind of helps with that as well. Just kind of breaking it up. It does kind of look a little different, but I don't think it's too bad here. So we go ahead and finish up with this little bridge piece connecting to the ground, and then you can see we try and add in some benches. I really wanted to go right up against there, but it just didn't quite look right. And when I make some changes here in the future, we end up changing the way those are as well. Yeah, you can see we're really messing around with what the path covers are going to be here, I think what we come up with is a pretty decent solution. So you can see we are making those minor adjustments to the one side. We do have to add in some bushes and rocks to kind of fill in that area, but generally speaking, I think it turned out pretty well. So here we go, adding in the rocks. Rocks are a big portion of what we're going to be working with in this next section. So maybe not this episode so much, aside from this area and another little area, but they just kind of make it add a little bit more realism to the area. Again, we're going to slowly just add a few pieces in here just to kind of build that in. Now, I did want to address some of the other little unfinished pieces. There you can go, you see we have added in those wooden planks. I still wanted to keep that checkerboard pattern, and then I was gonna see again about trying to squeeze things in, but it just didn't work. So we get that, and then I decided that Bear Paw Eats just needs a little bit larger of a seating area, and hope that we could get some people into that. And I think it turns out pretty good. We do use the fencing there that we already had, get that all kind of sorted out, and you know, I think this worked out pretty nicely here. So once we get this fencing in here, it's just a matter of more rocks and bushes, and you know, I think it it looks just fine. So yeah, we get everything in here, and then trying to get the paths underneath, that's always a fun challenge. And then crankshaft, we didn't want to build anything too high or put any trees that were too high that would take away from the sight line of it. So once we do get that in here in just a second, maybe, oh no, we're going to do the different benches and whatnot. And of course, that's going to stick with the red because that is the way that is Bear Paw Eats seating area. So, and then adding in some planters here, this just kind of creates a little bit more of a defining wall for the area. And of course, we do have to make some minor adjustments to get the dirt underneath there, and you know, just a little bit of terrain work. I think it looks pretty nice. Of course, adding in our rocks, bushes, and trees. And again, I didn't want anything too tall in this area, so we go ahead and focus a lot on the bushes because we're going to have to try and really make this area look a little bit overgrown because there's just nothing in this area. So you can see we did throw in a big tree. We sunk a couple trees in to fill it in with saving some piece count. And then that is pretty much it. I don't think we put, aside from that one marula tree that we put in there, I don't think we add any other trees. Of course, with the windmill, you don't want large trees either. So yeah, I think we get all of that sorted out. Now we do need to create some type of barrier, just to kind of keep everything a little bit separate because we don't want people just walking right up on people as they're eating. We add in some barriers to do that as well. So you know, I think that it all looks pretty nice here, and you know, I'm pretty pleased with that. Now, for the last section here, before we get into the live portion, is, you know, how are we going to address these 3 vacant areas underneath the Skyride? And you know, I thought there wouldn't be any better way than just like a big like flower planter, just like a nice little area underneath. Nothing, there's not going to be any rides in this area. It's not going to be like pathways or statues or anything like that. It's literally just dead space in the park, just to kind of keep things open. So places to sit up against, and you know, just to relax. So of course, there are going to be rides on the outside of the paths here, and of course we have Ceristas and Sear Squad there, so we do have that, but in the interior here, it's just going to be all flowers and whatnot. So and you know, I didn't think this had to be anything extravagant, so you know, we just modify some of the types of flowers that we're going to have in the different areas here. We did want to leave the Skyride. We wanted to find a way to make the Skyride supports seem a little bit more uniform, so that they were going to fit in there. And then, of course, how are we going to dress this area up? So, you know, I had a bunch of different ideas on, you know, how I was going to do this. I ended up settling with these flowers and just rotating them, adding these little half circle pieces that we just colored to, of course, the standard orange, blue, and white, and you know, I think it looks pretty nice here. And then you know, once we change the terrain from to mud and then the little bit nicer grass, you know, I think it kind of fits for the area. So You can see we're really just trying to get everything in here perfectly. You can see we've now duplicated that, and you know, there is a little bit of dead space in the middle there. Of course, we're going to add another half circle of flowers on both sides, and you know, I think that kind of brings the area in. And then we also add some hedges in just like a random little wavy style pattern, and you know, I think it looks pretty nice. We do add some topiaries in here as well, just to kind of round everything off. Now, the one nice thing about these hedges is they are the defined, like that's where the dirt and whatnot, the difference is. So you can see we're making those changes now. And this at this point is just a test to see how, if I would like those or not. So, and I did. So we end up duplicating these. We make sure the topiaries are a little bit more uniform as well. Flip those around and get those in there. Now, I did notice that we need to make some minor adjustments here a few times, so we do make those as well. And then, of course, we adjust the Skyride, and we get the supports for the Skyride to be to fit a little bit better for where they need to be. So the other thing that I wanted to do is just make sure that, you know, there is some access to the supports for the Skyride, and we did those with this arch, which I thought was a nice little touch here. Of course, there's going to be a gate here. It's nothing significant, but you know, I think it does the job, and I'm pretty happy with it. So yeah, you can see we're just going and getting everything tidied up here. We do use the gate as like a little bit of a curb as well, so this all seems to fit and tidy in pretty nicely. And then the last piece that we're going to do here is we're just going to duplicate these. We rotate them just so it doesn't look too cookie cutter, and go ahead and paint everything in, and you can see you know, everything is just starting to fit in perfectly here. We got all three in, and you know, aside from some minor changes, we do change out the lights on the bridge. I forgot about that. Just wanted it to be something a little bit different. We use some of the spooky lights, which I think just would make a look a little bit nicer for this style of bridge, and it gives us a little bit of difference between the rest of the park at this point, or the rest of the central pathway here. So yeah, working on the Skyride, getting those adjusted in there so they fit perfectly, and then of course changing the color of the gondolas to the blue, because why not, and then making just minor changes, adding in the benches into the natural seating area, and making sure all of that is covered. So yeah, not too much going on here in this episode's in terms of building. We make a lot of changes for the management. I'm sure you can see throughout this episode we had been losing a ton of money. So we make some pretty drastic changes here, and I'll highlight those in the live portion. And you know, I think we've finally come to a spot where, you know, we might be sustaining ourselves here a little bit better than what we had been in the last few episodes. So yeah, I am pretty happy with this. I hope you guys are enjoying it as well. But I'll go ahead. We'll let this last couple pieces finish up here, and I will see you in the live portion. welcome to the live portion of today's video. And you can see we have not done a whole lot in terms of, building and things that we are doing. And that's because we are going to be focusing on the management features because we need to make sure the park isn't going to go bankrupt. So, before we get into what we've done so far, what I worked on off screen to make sure something was going to work, we'll do a quick overview of what we got here. So we, of course, got the bridges sorted out. We got this nice little seating area, which I thought was nice. I was going to try and do that on this side, but it just didn't work out the same. So, and then we got these little flower planter things here that I think just look really nice. I think it'll look even better once we get this other side filled. I think it'll look a little bit more complete than what it has. So there's just not a lot of good ways to take photos of it because of this empty side and this empty space up here. But overall, I think it looks pretty nice. We did make some minor adjustments to the Skyride, which I was having a glitch with that as well, where it was just stopped and not moving. So we got that all sorted out, and then of course we made sure that the supports for that are in reasonable locations with easy access points, with exception to the ones in the water, which would be a pain for the team to work on. But that's not our problem, that's our team's problem. So we got that all sorted out. Nothing else major going on here. So let's go ahead. Let's jump into our park management features. You can see people are very happy. Our staff is at 99%, which is a bit annoying. Empyrean is our most profitable and popular attraction. Propeller Smoothie, which is the one right outside Empyrean, which is nice, and then just a bunch of green top guest thoughts and whatnot. So that is all looking good here. The other portions, we don't have too much. Ride rating, scenery rating, park balance bonus, that we need to try and work on a little bit here. And then just our general statistics and whatnot. So let's dive into our statistics here. You can see we lost a lot of money here in October. That is just things just kind of bounce back and forth. You can see we made a bunch of money here in March. We're losing money here in April. So we're kind of on this weird up and down trend. That is just because of how the rides are breaking down at the moment. But overall, we are tending to make money. The 2 months prior to this, they made about $1,000 each. I think that is probably about where we're at. Being profitable about $1,000 each month. So, pretty happy with that. Shops and Stalls had a pretty rough month in March, even though we made a bunch of money. But that's because people were in line and waiting and getting through the line. So that's kind of a good problem to have, I think. I'm not sure what's going on right now. Empyrean must have broke down. Let's see. Steel Eagle broke down. Missing vendors, that's fine. I don't know. I don't know why we lost so much money there, but or why we're losing so much money, but hopefully that will bounce back here. Yeah, we're losing. Yes, stuff must have broke down. A bunch of stuff must have broke down, so that's fine. And yeah, you can see coaster ticket sales, that we're making a ton of money. Ride ticket sales doing almost equally as good, which is crazy. Our small attractions, we know they're gonna probably lose some money, especially since I put in that new one a couple episodes, or last episode I think. Priority pass sales, making some money. Well, not necessarily making money, but offsetting our losses with that a little bit. Shop and facility running costs, that is just crazy how much that is. And we're selling $9,000 in that. So and in our hotel rooms, we're making money with the hotel every month. And then the restaurant wasn't successful, so that's got closed at the moment. Park management, we know we're losing money there. And overall, I think we are doing okay at the moment. So Our staff, we did have some issues, some minor issues that we had to address. But before we get into that, if you are interested in becoming a part of the park, please let me know in the comment section. We will get you added in at whatever position that you would like and start getting you trained up and moving forward here in the park. So if you are interested in that, I do try and mention most of the names every time we have a video. So, we'll jump in here. Our entertainers, we do need a new entertainer. We have Chief Beef 1 down here, who is there for Seer Squad, which maybe we need to can him. I don't know. I'd like to not do that if we can, but if anyone wants to be a Chief Beef, please let me know and we'll put you in here. But we got Daniel, K-Dancer, Alfian, all happy, all doing great work, so that is all looking good. Janitors, we haven't had any complaints about the cleanliness of the park, so that is fine. Our vendors, this is where we had our issue, and this was just, we had a couple people that were not happy, we should, I want to say her name was Tracy, and she's already gone up. She must have just been in one of the busier shops when that was happening. So she's bouncing back there, being pretty happy. We didn't have to make any changes to the cost or the pay for those, so that is perfectly fine. Now our mechanics, they are getting busier, but the workload is still looking pretty good. So we're not going to make any changes to that. We got Arch and John Mohammed that's in here, and you might start hearing my dog here as someone's about to be walking past the window here. So I apologize for that. Oh, and there he goes. So our security, we got M&J Games, Jiu-Jitsu J, Dwest, Nocturo 1, and, so security, we did drop $5 off of theirs. Oh, not Marcus, so we'll go ahead and drop that down. So that should save us a little bit of money per month, which should be fine. And our staff buildings, they're still looking good. We do have some people here at 3 in the airfield staff building, so that is looking fine. Yes, they are pretty happy. We do have this is actually going down, which is good. 63%, 49%, 64% for people that are hungry, thirsty, and need the toilet. Energy is a little bit lower as well, but that's okay. Pillar Smoothies is busy. Empyrean Q is full. That we're going to see a little bit more, but generally speaking, everything seems to be pretty fine there. Now, our attractions, we will go through each attraction here so you can see exactly what changes we have made. And we've got a new classic ride, so we got to make some changes to that as well. So we know we have to drop the price on that, so we're going to start to lose some money on that until people start to get out to this area of the park. But we got aerial attack. This is reviving. We have still 2 years until we get to that revive or classic status. This should start to draw some more people over here. It is overall profitable, so that is a good sign that once this does get out of this reviving status, we should start to see that make us some more money. Look at all these rides that are broken down. That's wild. We'll take a look at all our downtime. I don't think this is worth reviving or refurbishing yet, but we did make some changes. We found the main sequence here 4 times is probably the most successful for us, and then the special effects only happen on 4 main sequences, or 3 of the 4 main sequences, just to try and reduce that. So that is looking good. Air traffic control tower, like I said, this we did add a reverse spin to this just to try and draw in some more, so the Prestige is a little bit higher. And that should start to draw people as well. Downtime, again, I don't think this is a problem. I think this will be fine moving forward. Baggage carousel, we're treating that as a track ride because it doesn't take people from point A to point B. So that is a huge profitable attraction for us. We can charge, we're going to treat it as a classic attraction, so we're only charging $11.25 for that based on our rules. Balloon Flight, no changes to Balloon Flight whatsoever. The line is pretty long in this one, but we didn't, that typically doesn't get full, so I'm pretty happy with that. Carousel, we did make some changes to the carousel. You can see the Prestige is way up there, and that is just to try and draw more people in, make sure that this is going to be successful. You know what, it's broken down. Let's refurbish that. It's been breaking down quite a lot, so get that wear and tear back up so that we can keep making money on that. No mechanic available. That doesn't seem great. Should maybe take a look at that. Yeah, we just had a bunch of things break down. He's at stunt pilot. He's probably gonna go to this next. They're all working on something, so you know what? I'm not gonna make any changes. Carousel will be back in a little bit. So, what happened here? Okay, there we go. So the carousel, crankshaft, we did make some changes there in terms of the ride sequence, and that has boosted the prestige here. Let's take a look. This is still good. We do not need to refurbish this. That is drawing more people in, so that should make us some more money. So that made $1,000 last month. Empyrean, $7,000. That is just wild how much money that's made. This has made us over $1 million since it's opened, so that is huge. We did make a change to this, so let's go ahead and zoom in here. And the change that we made here is in relation to the Q line. Words are struggling, but instead of having people come through here and wait through this, we just turn this off as if it's not busy. So this will force the queue to fill up quicker, but it will help when the ride breaks down so that we won't have such a large impact. It will also allow people to get into the attraction quicker and get off it rather than just sitting around. So I think that will help us significantly moving forward. Hercules, same type of thing. Wow, we went from 7,000 to 839 for the month, for the following month. So that's pretty drastic. But Hercules, same thing. We cut the line down so you only have to wait in the inside here. Still a long wait. I know this was the biggest offender of people having to be stuck in line. And that was just them. It was a 96-minute wait when I adjusted it, so that has significantly helped us in terms of getting people out, walking around, and buying stuff. So pretty happy with that. I've also think I've reduced the ride sequence because I'm just trying to not get as many people waiting in line for this ride. So it doesn't change the attraction's ticket price, so that is good, but it still gets quite a bit of a line. So I think I'm pretty happy with the way that's going. Hyperjump's not open. Parking Tram is a transportation ride, so we're only allowing us to charge 50 cents per ride. The Scissor, big changes here in terms of the ride sequence. We added a bunch in here to get the prestige up a little higher, and that seems to have worked pretty well. We probably need to refurbish this as well. The wear and tear is pretty low, so we'll get that refurbished since it's broken down. The Skyride is just... things are just breaking down left and right, so eventually someone will get to that, but you know, it is what it is at the moment. See, carousel's fixed already, so that's good as well. Steel Eagle, we only made 200. Oh, I bet last month was an atrocious month for us. This is not needing to be refurbished, but this has not been no major changes to this ride. That's been good, and Whirly Rig has not been open here for a while either, so you know, that is it for the attractions. I am curious, how bad was last month? Minus 5,000. That's what happens when you have 5, 6, 7 attractions all break down at once. You can see we kind of offset the shops and facilities because we didn't lose as much money there, but the rides and tickets, that is where we really got hurt. So we made money on the small attractions. That's how bad everything else was. So there is that. Now our shops and stalls, I've already made quite a few changes to these. Baggage balloons, if we're making money, we're not making any changes. Barrel rolls, 231, so that's looking good. Heya Sushi, we had 11 missed sales last month. I don't think that's too bad, but you know what, we'll drop it by 10 cents, and that should kind of eliminate that, hopefully. Bear Paw Eats, we are looking good there. 23 missed sales. Let's just reduce that a little bit here. You know what, we are going to probably make changes to everything. You know what, let's go ahead and get those up a little bit higher for the Pipshot juice at Bear Paw Eats. Corkies, we're not even going to look at those because they're out of the way, so no one's going to those. Cosmic Cow ice cream. Let's go ahead and jump those up by 20 cents. The milkshakes, they made money. We had 5 missed. I think that's probably the max of what we're going to get there, so we'll just drop that by 10 cents. Gifts go, Looney Balloons, I think the balloons are fine. The guest services, we just don't have people out there. Pipshot. Yeah, this is a big one. So at 4, we can probably just drop it 10 cents, and that will probably reduce that. And I doubt that we've had any there, so that's fine. Gulpy Slush, 12 missed sales. Let's just go ahead and drop that by 10 cents. Munger Frites, oops, we clicked on the wrong one. Any missed sales? No missed sales there, so let's just pull that back up here by 10 cents because I feel like I dropped that by 10 cents, so that's fine. Storistas, no missed sales. I'm not gonna update that because I just don't think there's enough people. Same with Street Fox Coffee. The Steel Eagle gift shop is the Looney Balloons, which that's good. Wait, this shop actually made money? That's fun. So that's good. Let's see, what else? Vending machines we're not too concerned about. Wing It's. Let's see. 0 missed sales. let's increase by 2 here, and that should be fine there. So our facilities, those are going to lose this money. Small attractions seems to be glitched out. There we go. That one actually made some money for us, so that was good. The hotel is going to make some money. Restaurant is closed because it was losing money. And generally speaking, everything else here is looking fine. Yeah, I think with the changes that we've made here, we should start to see a little bit more consistency. I hate that we're going up and down, up and down, up and down. But, you know, yeah, the average is that we're positive $76. I think that's probably the biggest thing that we can ask for at the moment. The next thing that we're going to build is going to be a major impact attraction. And I'm not sure if it's going to be in this area. I'm thinking it is going to be. It might be over here depending on how big I want it to be. But, you know, I think this is all looking pretty decent. And you know, I think we'll start to see things continue to succeed throughout our next couple episodes. So I do hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to leave a like. If you saw something I could have done better, let me know in the comment section. And if you want to see some more awesome Planet Coaster content, please subscribe to the channel. So again, thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Later.